Welcome back. Let us continue. Now, next measure of position is quantile. Quantile and quartile, two words are there. We'll talk about that. What's the meaning of quartile? What's the meaning of quantile? Very interesting to see this one also. Uh, we are using this to check the data distribution also, how it is exactly distributed. So the word quantile comes from the word quantity, quantile. So in simple terms, the quantile is where a sample is divided into equal sized, adjacent subgroups. That's why it is sometimes called as a fractile also. Now see, term quantile and quartile, they are equally preferred, equally used basically. Somewhere we can find they are using quantile, some we are using quartile also. But it is something like fractile also. It's also referred to as dividing probability distribution into equal areas of equal probability. Equal areas of equal probability. That's we can see. So median is the quantile, and median is placed in the probability distribution so that exactly half of the data is lower than the median and half of the data is above the median. So the median cuts the distribution into two equal areas, so it's somewhat called as two quantiles. Quantile. So equal parts are created, or we can have four parts also. Four parts can also be, that's then it's called as quartile. Quantile, according to quantity, you separate the data, which is what we call as the quantile, and using that concept, the quartiles are created. See this one. For example, I'm having a median of the data here. See some data distribution you can see, and here is the median element. Median element I'm talking about, middlemost element. After sorting, it's there. So below that we have 50%, not exactly 50% data, I mean 50% magnitude is not there. The element which are below to median, they are 50%. Above median, they are again remaining 50% are there. Fine. This is considered called a quantile. You use the quantity and you divide that into equal parts. Concept called as quantile concept here. Fine. Using this, we are going to have the quartiles. Quantile according to the quantities. You define how many quantiles you want, and accordingly we have quartiles. So quartile means part of quarter parts, 25%, 25, 25, 25 that we create. That's what we call as the quartile. So data distribution and position both can be seen by this. We have seen the dispersion of data also. When we have seen tendency methods in mean, median, so they are also connected with the same, the tendency of the data. So here we can find a position. So quartile are the value that divide your data into quarters. However, quartiles aren't shaped like pizza slices. It's like 25, 25% like that. You have a series of data, and in that we have a cut. Okay, so divide your data into four segments according to where the numbers fall on the number line. Various number fall on the number line. So four quartiles are there. As you can see, if you are going to create four parts of 100% data, so what percentage that they will carry? 25, 25, 25, 25. Correct. 425% are there. The lowest 25 of the numbers, lowest 25. Then next lowest 25, 25 to 50%. Up to the median. Remember, up to the median, not the mean, up to the median. And then second highest, like 50% to 75%, above the median. And then last highest 25%, 75% to 100%. Data distribution, how data is equally distributed or not, or position of different data into that particular element can be identified with the help of the concept of quartiles. See this. Here we have these values, can check it out. So first 25%, second 25, next 25, next 25. Now, by this, we are going to find three different kind of quantile values, different kind of quartile values over here. See, the first quartile value is median. So it's called a second quartile. Here, the center, three centers are there in it. Correct. Three centers are present by using this quartile concept. Which one? First center is at the center of first 25 to second 25. This is called as first quartile. Correct. One important to note that data is distributed in sequence, in series, in sequence. Then only these quartiles can be created. So here we have 25% data, the first 25%, first quartile. Okay. Then second 25% data here. second quartile, and the center of first 25, second 25 is called as first quartile, Q1, which is given a name over here. Then second 25 to third 25. This is what median we are having at the center, and this is actually the center of the whole data also. Though it is the center of second and third quartile, it is the center of all data also. That's why it is called as median, the middlemost element. Second quartile, and then third, the third 25 to fourth 25, we have a center of it. This is called as the third quartile value. This is upper quartile. So lower quartile, middle quartile, upper quartile. The three different centers we have, three different medians we have in this data distribution, which is called as the quartiles. And the range from first quartile to third quartile is called as interquartile range. That is Q3 minus Q1, because obviously Q3 is greater than Q1. Data is sorted, the values will be different. Q1 value will be less than the Q3. So if you subtract them, we'll get an interquartile range in between. But we have to ensure that the data that we are using over here is sorted. Okay, this is called as the quartile. Now let's get an example and try to understand how the quartiles are actually created here. Let's see the example. Divide the following data set into quartiles. Data set is sorted already, so maybe if you don't have a data sorted, that time also the quartiles are possible. But before quartile data is sorted, and then quartiles are created. Like 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16. I think not sorted. So you have to put in order. 65, 45, 12. Okay. After that, step number 1. First step is that we have to keep the data in the ordered format. In the ordered format. Put the number in the order. 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 12, 22, 45, 65. Correct. Maybe the numbers are repeated. Okay, if they are repeated, then they also be duplicated. Double number will be there. Then step number 2. Count how many numbers are there in your set and then divide by 4 to cut in the slices of numbers in the quarters. Yes, see this. So there are 12 numbers. So how many quarters will be there? 4, obviously. And what size of it? 3, 3, 3, 3. 4 quarters will be created. And you can see this. In the first quarter, here, 2, 5, 6. Second quarter is 7, 10, 12. Third quarter is 13, 14, 16. And the next one is 12, 45, and 65. Correct? Correct. So this is what data distribution is done in the fourth quarters. Now using this, we can calculate the value of Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay, let's see this. Q1, Q2, and Q3. So how it is calculated? So it's already, you can see here. I'll show you how it is calculated there. If you have uneven set of numbers, it's okay. Uneven, odd number, because the center number will be single in that case. Center number is same, single L. If you are uneven, odd numbers are there. But even numbers are there, then center is containing 2 elements present there. Correct. So this can be a little tricky. Imagine you're trying to divide 10, 13, 17, 19, 21 into quarters. How it's possible? Okay, so we want to use some online interquartile range calculator to figure out the quartile out for you. So calculator will give you a 25th percentile, which is at end of the first quartile, 15th percentile which is at end of the second quartile, and 25th percentile which is at the end of the third quartile. Like that. So result will be like this. 25th percentile that will be given. The first, that is first quartile is 11.5. Second will be 17. This is correct. Center A. Median. Remember, 15th percentile is always median of the data. That is a rule. Rule means practically also same concept is there. And 75th percentile will be 20. Okay, that will be given. And interquartile range will be 8.5. 8.5 means if you subtract 75th percentile minus 25th percentile, will get 8.5. The difference between them. Okay, that's what interquartile range will be present there. Okay, that's it. Now for this data, how it's equally created, I'll show you practically also. We'll not use that. We'll directly go to practical part and divide, and then we'll see interquartile range for this particular data. Graphically also it's possible. There's an interested graph present with us that will show you this quartile value so much clearly. upper quartile. Let's say upper quartiles. So the upper quartile, sometimes called as Q3, which is 75%, is the number dividing the third and the fourth quartile, correct? At the center, third and fourth quartile dividing. Upper quartile can also be thought of as a median of upper half of the number. Upper half of the number. See here, third and fourth are there at this location. That will be a center present, and that center will be 0.5 in this case. Sorry, 1.5 for this case. Upper quartile is also called the 75th percentile, that split the lower 75% of the data from the highest 25%. Okay, lowest 25% data from the highest 25%. That separation is done from this particular point. For example, above 25% data is there, below 75% data is there. So that separation done with the help of upper quartile, that is Q3. Fine. Now, you can find the upper quartile by placing a set of numbers in the order and working out Q3 by hand. So you can use the upper quartile formula. If you have a small set of numbers like it's 20, so by hand is usually easiest option, that we can directly divide it and you can see where the upper quartile is there. The formula works on all set of numbers from very small number to very large, but you may also want to use the formula if you are uncomfortable with finding the median for the sets of data with odd or even numbers. For example, see, find the upper quartile for the following set of numbers. I'm giving some set of numbers here. I have to find the some upper quartile for this. So how these quartiles are calculated? See this one, step by step. I have given this the methods to find the quartile values here. So like step 1, obviously put the numbers in the order: 1 2 5 7 6 7 9 12 15 18 19 25 27. Step number 2, find a median. What is the median? So 50% part we can consider there. So if you check it, how many numbers are present over here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 7 8 9 10 and 11 numbers are there. So it means that 11 numbers means center will be 1. What is that? So this 5 here and this other 5s are here. So 9 will be the median number. 9 will be the median number. Place the parenthesis around the number of above median. So above 9, upper order values will be there. Okay, upper order elements are present there. So this, you can see this one. So lower order are these are upper order numbers. So above median, whatever values are there, that will be the upper quartile. Then find a median of upper set of numbers, upper quartile. What's the median of it? Now 18. Okay. What's the median of this number? It is 18 now. You can see this. Upper quartile. Okay, this is how it is calculated. Here we have 18. So means 18 is third quartile value. 9 is the second quartile, 50% quartile value, and 25% quartile will be, if you check the below numbers here, it will be what it will contain. So below 9, you will have 5 over here. Fine, that will be the 25% quartile present here, like that. So this method we generally use to find the quartiles. Now let's go in detail. Again, few more mathematics. The upper quartile formula is this: quartile 3 is equal to 3/4 of nth item, is total number of element, and out of it 3/4 items. 3/4 out of 4, 3, 75% term. That is quartile number 3. So the formula doesn't give you the value for upper quartile. It gives you the place. For example, 5th place or the 76th place present over there. That will be identified. Third, 3/4, the last one. Okay, so 25, 25, 25. Everyone is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4 completed, 75% at that time. Which value is present? That is your upper quartile value. Okay, so put the number in the order again. Note for very last set, you may want to use some Excel to place that number, or we can see in Excel also you can try directly, or you can use a programming language also to do the same operation. So step number 2, work the formula. There are 11 numbers in the set, so you can see this one, how to identify this. So Q3 is, as I told, 3/4 of n plus 1th term. How many elements are there in? 11. Okay, so 11 plus 1th term, that is 3/4 of 12th term, that is 9th term. Getting? Check it. So ninth term in this element is 18. 3 by 4 of ninth term is the upper quartile value. Make sure. Okay, so this is what Q3 is calculated. We have got 11 values. 11 plus 1, 12th term, so 3 by 14. It will be 3 into 12 divided by 4. Okay, 3 into 12 divided by 4. That we will be having this value present over here. So it will be 3 into 3. So if you divide this, 4 will get 12 will get divided by 4 third time. So 3 into 3 will have 9. So in this set of numbers which we have, the upper quartile 18 is ninth term. That is the ninth place from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 18. Correct. That's what we have seen. So two elements we are having here. The center of the upper value is 18. So 18 is the third quartile. And this is the formula to identify that Q3 is equal to 3/4 of n plus 1th term is called as the upper quartile value. So these steps are used to perform operations of it. Now, just identify that I want to use the lower quartile. Okay, if you want to use the lower quartile, then what to do? So 1/4. We're going to use 1/4 value present over there. 1/4 instead of 3/4, if we talk about 1/4. So which terminal term will be present over there? 1 by 4 if you are using that in this particular case, if you have considered this formula as it is, or lower quartile. So if I write 1 by 4 of 12th, okay, the number will be 3 present there. So 1, 2, 3, 5. That's what I shown. Which one? Here, the center of the lower element is 5. 1/4 of n plus 1th term. And if I want to check the center element, so 1 by 2 of n plus 1th element. 1 by 2 means 12 divided by 2, 6th element. You can see 6th element here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 50% quantile. That's it. This is the formulas which are used to find the quartile values on the given set of data. Okay, that's what we have seen. Now see, we'll see the things practically, but before that, let's close this point. Quarter and quartile. See, what is the quarter and what is the quartile? Quarter is just like we are creating 25% parts separately. We are not talking about this round, okay, or not a circle, basically. So there's a slight difference between the quarter and quartile. So quarter is the whole slice of the pizza, and quartile is the mark where the pizza cutter, okay, makes at the end of the slice. That is the first quartile mark. Location, quarter and quartile, from where it's actually taken, these values are. This is what the difference between the quarter and the quartile are. Let's see how to do this one. Wait a minute, I'll just check it out. We'll use maybe same examples which I mentioned over here, and then accordingly we can calculate it. We'll check it from the scratch first, and then we'll check the inbuilt functions which are present to perform the similar kind of operations, okay, to find the quartile of the values. Okay, we'll check it from the scratch first. How scratch means directly from the Python's core programming, then we can calculate it. Now see, I have created a data set over here. You can see this data, just I print this data, you can see this. I have a set of data with me, and the data is sorted. It's sorted already. But if data is not sorted, then also it's okay. We have to use the sorted function. With the help of that, the data can be sorted, and after data is sorted, then we can make use of the function. Okay, that we can make use of the function by which it's possible to find the quartile values over here. So just a minute. Yeah. So here we got these values. So how many elements are there in it? Let's check it out. Len of data. Yes, 20 elements are present. Okay. Now, if you want to take the first quartile out of it, there is a concept called data slicing that we can use. You can check it present over here. Data of len of data. Sorry, data divided by 2. See, the median median of element. So which elements are there? So you can see this one. These are the upper order elements. See this one. Sorry, lower order element first, quartile 1. So if I want to extract that, so I can just sort it, and after sorting, we can identify the median of that element. So if you see 32, 36, 34, all there, first half, length divided by 2. It means that out of 20, first 10 element are extracted separately here. This one. And the median of all that element. So how many elements are? 10 elements are present over here. In that 10 elements, okay, obviously number even. So at center, 2 elements are present, which are that these two. 56 and 69 will be there. So these number are added and divided by 2. It is 62.5. The first quartile value is calculated by this method. 2 central elements are there. They are added and divided by 2 is done. And we got the value 62.5 over here. Fine. This is the first quartile value, Q1 calculated. And to calculate the second quartile value, so you can use this similar formula ahead. So before that, let's see how it is calculated. See, so this colon I'll put at second phase here. See, now 88, and after that above 89, remaining elements are there. 89, 91, 92, 93, 96 onwards, all other elements are taken in consideration. Data of length divided by 2, the upper half, that is using upper half. So using this concept of upper half, we'll find the third quartile, this one. Now see, we'll check the Q3 value now. It is 96.5. 96.5. What's present there? It's the average of these two numbers. 96 plus 97 divided by 2. It is at the center of these two elements, 96.5. Is the third quartile value. That is 75% quartile value is present. That is, okay, is that half, second half, and its center, and its median. It's median. So median of first half is first quartile, median of second half is third quartile, and median of whole or median of 25 to 75, both are same actually. Is the median of that is element, and 50% quartile will be there. And now what's the interquartile range? Check it out. Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1 divided by, sorry, Q3 minus Q1 only. That is interquartile range, that is 34. Q3 is 96.5 and Q1 is 62.5. The difference between them is 34.0, which is called as interquartile range. So the range that we see, range function already we have seen for the dispersion of data that we have seen. So range is the difference between minimum and maximum. That is the range. Here also, the difference between 75% quartile and 25% quartile is called as the interquartile range. Fine, interquartile range. Correct. So this is how the quartiles are calculated, and we are using. And if you want to use the 50% quartile, so that's easy to do. It's used here. We have seen this already. That's why I not checked here. So Q3 is equal to NP dot median of the whole data. Oh, sorry, median of whole data, that is Q3. 88.5. 88.5. So where is that? See this. Center of these 2 points. Means the last number here and first number here. The last number of first part and first number of second part. And their center, their average is 88.5, which is the median, that is 50% quartile number 2. Q2. 3 is given, sorry, Q2. Okay, fine. This way we can perform the operations here. Now to calculate the quartile values, we can use the function called as percentile, but we have to use the interpolation parameter as midpoint. Interpolation parameter as the midpoint. So value that we have seen already, first quartile value is 62.5, second quartile value is 88.5, and third quartile value is 96.5. You can see in last quartile the difference is very small, 88 to 96. The number of elements are very close to each other. Rather than this, see in the first set elements are not very close, means 32, 36, 46, 70, and wait a minute, sorry for the interrupt, it was disconnected accidentally. Okay, so this is how the data dispersion, data spread is there. Here high spread is present, that's why it's 62.5, and here low spread is present, that's why this value is very close to the median. Median is 88.5 and upper is 96.5, remember. Okay, so that's 88.5. Now to calculate these values, we will be making use of the function percentile. You have to pass the data to it. Okay, and like 25 is the first quartile that you have to mention, then interpolation is equal to midpoint, that's required, then only the quartile values can be identified. Then third quartile, np dot percentile, data for 75%, interpolation is midpoint, we require midpoint for the same, and IQR. So let's print all both of this, all the values which are mentioned. So print quartile 1, that is, sorry, quartile 1 is Q1, you can see. Quartile 2, sorry, 3 is Q3, and interquartile range also. See this one. Now check it. We got the values. Quartile 1, 62.5. So using this, we can directly calculate it without having any direct data distribution, just like we have seen above. So we can directly make use of it here. Then quartile 3, 75% is 96.5. That's why you have calculated above. So exactly same method is followed here. And then interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1 is also same 34.0. And same case, if you want to find a median or the second quartile, so we can use this Q2, that is second quartile. Okay, so if you want to use this data, I'll share this with you also, because by practical it can be easily understood. This is quartile 2, which is exactly the median, 88.5, 50% quartile data. Okay, at the midpoint, we are just to identify the percentile, and you can see this one. This is quartile 1, quartile 2, calculated. Okay, this is how mathematically we have seen. There are many more methods that we can identify it there. Now, summary of all is also possible by the
Sir, what does
packages here. Just a minute, let's see that. Yes.
Sir, what does interpolation mean? You've added a parameter there.
I want the center point of this. I want the center point as midpoint for this 25%. That's why, because see, in percentile we have seen the multiple elements are present over there of this 25%. That's why interpolation is given as midpoint. Remember, center of it is required. So if center is for 25% quartile, will be there. It will be the first quartile value. Make sure. That's why it's given there. Okay, so this is individual function I have applied there. I don't want individual function. I want to directly. So let's see, I just told already also कि pandas contains everything, because actual data analysis is done on using pandas. So I can summarize all the values at a time with the same function. So let's see, for example, the data frame which I created here in the same previous session, I imported it. This was the file which I imported. See, yes, experience and salary. Now I want to check the dispersion of the data, quartile ranges of this all data. Directly I can apply a function here called a describe. See this and check it out. The complete data, dispersion, tendency, and the position, all that we can see here. It means from here you can see the count total number of non-null elements, then mean of all, mean of both that we can see here. Then standard deviation also can be seen. See deviation of first and second, the minimum value, and here we have the quartile ranges. 25% quartile, okay, then 50% quartile, and 75% quartiles. Take this. Okay, so here 50% obviously is a median of it. One more thing that we need to identify from here is that if mean and median should be almost equal to each other, so data is not much containing outliers. If outliers are added, then 50% quartile will get affected. Remember, our mean will get so much affected there. Okay, so in summary, in by the describe function, I can calculate it. So it's directly, you can extract by using this 25% value, 50%, 75% here, like all, and maximum value is this. So from 1.1 to 10.5, we have first median is 3.2, second median, exact median is 7.4.7, and the third median, that is third quartile median, is 7.7, like that. So generally data frame functions are so much useful. They are not separately done. They are collaborating all the operations together, and accordingly they are showing the results to you. Okay, this is what the summary functions are present. One more thing, graphical representation also possible. There is an interesting graph present, it's called as the box plot. Now see, box plotting is possible everywhere. Means on whatever packages we have, everywhere this box plot is possible. Let's check it out. For example, in DF, I want to plot. I just want to plot a box plot here for years experience, let's say. Dot plot dot box I mentioned. Now you can see this is your quartile values. This is called a box and whisker plot that we can see. Now how to identify that values? Let's see. For example, this is the minimum value. This one, the first. Here is the minimum. Maybe it's 1. Correct? Years experience. Here. This is the maximum value, 10.5. This one. Okay? Then here, this is the 25% quartile. This one. Where the box starts. This is 25% quartile. What is that? 3.2. Here it is starting 3.2 at this location. Okay, this is 75% quartile. Where box ends, it's near to 8, I think. How much is that? 7.7. Okay, here 75% quartile. Box plot will show you. And this is the maximum number, highest value. Here 10.5. And what is green? Yes, correct. It is 50% quartile. That is median value present there. This is what we can use, a box plot. Okay, and not only for single element, but if you write like this, ranges are completely different. That's why years experience is not shown correctly. Salary is completely different. That's why it's an issue there. So let's see that salary separately. So all plots we can see also. It's not compulsory that only one plot we have to see at one time. Multiple can also be seen. Just like if you heard about the IRIS data set. And on IRIS dataset, I want to make a box plot. That's also possible. Okay, let's see this one, individual element that we can use from data frame. Or I want to make use of some other data. Let's see that. For example, if you know the IRIS dataset, I'll show you that. There is a sepal length, sepal width, petal width, 4 columns are. Then all 4 I want to summarize at a time using a box plot. I just want to compare all of their ranges, all of their quartiles, values together. That also we can use. Just a minute. I'll import the IRIS first. So in Seaborn, that IRIS is present. So let's see, IRIS is equal to sns.load dataset. Sorry, IRIS. See, for example, this is a dataset that I'm having here, and in this dataset we have these 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 columns are there. And for this 4 column, I want to show the quartiles. Okay, 25%, 75%, or the median values of them. Okay, in that case, you can directly make use of the plot, sns.boxplot. Okay, let's pass the data is equal to IRIS and check it out. For all the values, you can see now for sepal length, the range is from here 4 something to 8, or for sepal width from here to here. You can observe one thing, this box plot interestingly show you the outliers also. Outliers, the values which are away from the crowd. Maximum element are lying over here and these elements are out of it, outliers. For outlier detection also it is possible. Okay, next topic we are having a Z-score. That Z-score is also used for 2 purposes, normalization and second is outlier detection. That also will show you. Box plot or the concept of this quartile can also be used to detect or check the outliers. See, these are the outliers shown here, dots, which are out of that maximum value or below minimum value. Okay, so here are this. In petal length, we have this one. This is the median value. You can see median. Median is far away actually. Here maximum values are present from 25 to 50% quartile. Maximum values are there. You can observe this one. This is at the center of all almost, means equal distribution is there. Here is not. Again, 75% is very close, and after that again more values are there. This is what interpretation we can see. And even all of them also we can compare at a time. So where the medians are present for this very less, then somewhat greater than in petal, then again similar values are there in sepal, but the range is small, and highest values are there into the sepal length. Here we can see. So this method is followed to check the box plot. And if I want that, let's say we have to use the grid onto it, so I can make use of the matplotlib for that. So let's see this. This is plt dot box plot. Okay, one extra parameter is there. Wait a minute. Its parameter should be different. So IRIS doesn't contain that. Parameters are different there, I think. Sorry, species is there. Species. Different error is there. It's not possible. Not found in axis. Let's try more. It's working. Just a minute. See this. In more detail, we can see all the distribution of all the values at a time. Okay, see this now. Okay, for the first, I think they are given the numbers here. Wait a minute. Label, we should have yes, it is missing. Take a not an issue. This is what first element are there. Their ranges we can see here. Can clearly observe. Even I have added the grid also. Okay, so and more detailing that we can see here. We can identify the outliers. See, outliers are there. They are away from the crowd. They don't follow the properties of the crowd. Maximum crowd is present here. They are out of the max elements. That we can delete also. These also methods we are having in statistics. Okay, so now see in detail. All four quartiles, box and whisker plot, that also one of the name given to this plot, by which all these values of quartile ranges can be seen easily. So you can in matplotlib to plot it. Pandas can also be used, and the seaborn can also be used. So this is the seaborn's method to plot, and this is the method of the pandas. Even it contains some parameter also, like I want this orientation is what's it, horizontal h. This one, horizontal orientation can also be created. So maybe different methods we can use, and analysis of the data or position of the data within it can be shown, can be identified by this particular method. Many things are there, because when you see the things practically, we'll get to know more details of the same. That's why I'm showing the things practically. Okay, I'll share the presentations with you. One more topic is there, which was expected today, but we are not having much time. So we'll take the remaining topics of unit number 2 on tomorrow's session. Thank you. If you have any questions or doubts, so you can ask right now also.